Weather, and we are talking about this very destructive storm system that is going to be walloping millions of Americans this week, bringing out a whole slew of problems. We're talking about heavy snow, ice, flash flooding, and severe storms. So get ready. You can see Seattle on the upper left-hand side of your screen. It's rainy. And then Buffalo, New York. Well, we are tracking fast-moving clipper system, actually a series of clippers that will also be moving through the northeast, but the main storm system, that is also going to be impacted in quite a few less in the days to come. So let's talk about this. We've got this Arctic air that's funneling in behind the jet stream as it's diving southward. So some bitterly cold air, a blast of cold air that is going to help out the system. And so it is going to be feeling the chill for much of the west coast into the Intermountain West, the Rockies through Wednesday before it reaches the plains. So notice what will be taking place. This upper level low, it's going to be steered northeastward. So as it does so, it will be absorbed into the jet stream. So come Wednesday, notice where it's going to be located. Places like Kansas, Nebraska, even into the Dakotas. So that strong airflow pressure develops at the surface. There's that cold front, also that warm front out ahead of this. And so all in all, the main takeaway is that this system, it is going to have so many impacts for so many of us, especially if you're going to be traveling in the coming days. We know that it's Monday after all. A lot of you business travelers, you're headed out, although today is President's Day, so maybe you were lucky you had the day off, right? So maybe you're able to hold off on those business plans until tomorrow. But just understand that tomorrow is actually when things are really going to kind of kick in here, especially out in the Pacific Northwest, before it slides into kind of the center part of the country by Wednesday. Wednesday is going to be the big whammy of the storm system. Over 2,000 miles south part of the storm system is going to span continuous rounds of rain, continuous rounds of snow, ice. The storm is going to just double in size. And then on the southern side of it, that warm sector, that's where all of that severe weather and flash flooding is really going to be confined to. So the winter weather alerts, this is what's currently in effect. Now understand that the National Weather Service offices in your respective communities, they can go ahead and add additional locations to some of these winter weather alerts and or potentially upgrade some of them. So I have a feeling, Michael, that a lot of those winter storm watches will soon be upgraded to winter storm or winter weather advisories and or winter storm watches.
Yep. I'm Amy Freeze. Welcome to Fox Weather's YouTube page.
Shalom, give all praise, Yahweh Shemir, Shabbat Shemir, Kakadash. Elders and apostle men and truth on down, which is truth for knowledge, and the Wadi Yahweh Shemir, Shabbat, elders and apostle men and truth on down, call Yahweh Shemir, Shabbat Shemir, Kakadash. Give all praise, Yahweh Shemir, Shabbat Shemir, Kakadash. Reports relating to impact of 35 states relating to severe weather, heavy snow, blizzard conditions, icing, flooding, to spread out pretty much 2,000 miles, stretching 35 states that could affect powerful effects of this powerful and disruptive storm. So throughout the whole week, 35 states relating to ice, snow, wind, different things. It's a Fox report. Let me say, it's a Fox weather report. Get another article. Before I get that, I want to get Isaiah. Let me see, Isaiah 29 and 6. Thou shalt be visited by the Lord of hosts, which is an army, with thunder, earthquake, great noise, storms, and tempests, flames, and devoured fire. Earthquake again, aftershock relating to 6.3 Turkey-Syria area border. Again, from the aftershock after 2 weeks ago, with which earthquake was 7.8. So you get aftershocks with a 6.3. Recently. So the Lord's visiting with thunder, storms, all kinds of storms, snow, wind, hurricane, tornado type storms, tempests, even wildfires, different types of elements he's using to judge. But the Lord is known by the judgment he executes. 9:16 of Psalms, man. Let's go to the next video. This relates to an incident that happened in Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
A drunk driver killed Miguel Ortega as he waited to cross the street.
After a gunman opened fire near the St. Charles Avenue parade route during the box parade last night. Police say officers took one man into custody who they believe is responsible for the shooting. Paul Murphy has the latest details on what police and witnesses had to say.
Panic on the New Orleans parade route.
You gotta go this way. Right now we got people going back and forth and it's not happening. This is all a crime scene. Go this direction. I apologize for any inconvenience. People are injured. Thank you.
I was about a half a block away. I thought about 20 shots. It may have been less, it could have been more.
The crew at Bacchus was close to the end when gunshots rang out near St. Charles Avenue and Terpsichore Street. It happened around 9:30 Sunday night in front of the Hoshan restaurant, just steps from where a large crowd lined the street enjoying the Mardi Gras festivities.
We don't know what happened prior to that, but we did hear gunshots, and officers responded, as well as the other agencies, very quickly. We were able to find 2 weapons on scene and also apprehend to be shooting.
According to the NOPD, when officers arrived on the scene, they found 5 people with gunshot wounds. The gunfire left 1 man dead and 4 others, including a juvenile, wounded.
This is really not something we wanted to see. We really wanted it to be a safe Mardi Gras and continue to work towards that end.
According to one witness, in a split second, the crowd here along the parade route went from having a good time to hitting the ground and running for their lives when they heard the gunshots.
Everyone ran, everyone took cover, my whole family ducked, I kind of just hovered over my family and over the small children.
This is a family event, especially in this area. Everywhere on the initial St. Charles route, it's a family event. There are children there. There is no need for anybody to bring a gun to a Mardi Gras parade.
Witnesses called the parade shooting senseless and sad.
Don't want to see this happen again during Mardi Gras with small children and families. It's unfortunate. You want to protect the ones you love, and it sucks.
The NOPD couldn't say if the man they took into custody was the sole shooter on the parade route. The shooting remains under investigation. Paul Murphy, Eyewitness News.
Paul, thank you. Along with NOPD, officers from the Orleans Parish Sheriff's Department, Louisiana State Police, and the Department of Corrections responded to that shooting. The NOPD is asking anyone with information about the shooting to call them or Crime Stoppers. Crime Stoppers number 504-822-1111. You do remain anonymous.
That was relating to an incident that happened in New Orleans. There's the information here. That's okay, that information for that. That's WWL TV, Channel 4 News 4 report. Go to the next video.
All you have to do is point. Yes.
Break up with your junk. Save $41.
Ago. Okay.
This relates to that 6.3 earthquake just recently.
Another powerful, a deadly earthquake near the Turkey-Syria border, causing buildings to collapse.
The 6.3 quake struck as the recovery efforts continue from the tragedy 2 weeks ago. KTLA 5's Lauren Lister joining us down in the studio with more. Lauren?
Yeah, Glenn and Lou, now people in this hard-hit area are dealing with more tragedy and terror. Turkey's interior minister saying 3 people have been killed in this quake, 213 injured. The volunteer organization in Syria says more than 130 people have been hurt there.
Terrifying moments caught on camera as a building collapses in the Hatay province of Turkey. Destruction from a new 6.3 magnitude earthquake today in a region already devastated by the massive 7.8 magnitude quake that struck just 2 weeks ago.
Most of the buildings are not habitable, so most of them are empty anyway.
We're hoping to have a live victim.
Mike Liam was leader of an LA County Sheriff's Search and Rescue volunteer team that recently returned from the Hatay province.
The memories we're bringing back to this are just of the epic scope of this disaster. As far as the eye can see, every building was affected.
And Turkish officials say even more buildings collapsed in the latest shaking. According to local reports, in Monday's quake, those trapped included movers helping people transport furniture from a building damaged in the initial massive temblor, and fresh trauma for survivors who we continue to learn more about. Like this 17-year-old who shared the farewell message he recorded for loved ones while trapped in the rubble before being saved earlier this month. For our local rescuers like Mike, reflecting on his mission.
It was a week of triumph and tragedy. Triumph was finding 3 live subjects and being able to rescue them, which in our wildest dreams, we didn't think we would even have one. So being able to rescue 3 people was amazing.
Nearly 45,000 people were killed in the initial quake in Turkey. 1.5 million people are in temporary shelters tonight. The EU's health agency now warning of the risk of disease outbreaks in the coming weeks. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken was just in Turkey earlier today, promising $100 million in aid to help in the cleanup, on top of $85 million already provided. Also, an LA County Fire Department rescue team just returned from the region. More on that at 4 o'clock. That's the latest. I'll send it back to you.
All right, Lauren, thank you.
All right, that was a report relating to that. W5 KTL, KTLA. Get some scriptures. So it was a 6.3 relating to that aftershock from the 7.8. That was so it was an aftershock, that 6.3, and one report says over 4,700. It's a lot more than that, but it's ABC News and stuff, you know. So it was an aftershock from that major one that was a couple weeks ago, back in February 6th, around that area. So it's a continuation relating to more, you know, casualties. Let's go to. There's also a derailment and what's that? Stanislaus County, Shalak, or pronunciation. Union Pacific Trail derails in Stanislaus County. Investigations underway. So you have the 4 trains derails. You all all these derails all of a sudden, man. You know, East Palestine, Ohio, and different places, man. One in Detroit and a few others, man. Now in California. So, you know, then you have some issue with the air quality in Ohio, relating to if the air is safe, the water, and different things, you know. So this is one here, Stanislaus County, you know. So it's California. So you're having all these derailments, man. All these suspects, questionable things happening with these trains, man. That's over in the Bay. Let me see. So I guess this would be like the Bay Area, California. California sets its sights on safety in the wake of derailment. Let's get some scriptures real quick. I don't want to make this long. 2 Timothy 3:1, and know also that in the last days perilous times, which are evil and bad times, shall come. But realize this, that in the last days difficult times will come. Timothy's NLT, you should know this, that Timothy, that in the last days there will be difficult times. So we're in difficult times, perilous times, evil times, complex times. That's the times we're in, man. So a lot of things are happening. A lot of strange, weird things happening, man. Second Ezra 8:50. For many great miseries, let's grab it. For many great miseries shall be done to them in the latter times that shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride, man. So the reason why is the Lord is, judging these places, using different tools and instruments, or tools even of cruelty to judge and put miseries, calamities, and atrocities on earth because of the pride, man, of these people, man. The pride, the wickedness, and just the vibration of what's going on the earth, man. So the Lord is judging, man. That's what, and he's bringing a lot of things happening, man. Earthquakes and different things all over, man. Let's get that scripture. And he answered me then and said, measure thou time diligently in thyself, and when thou seest parts of the signs pass, and when I had told thee before. So using the scriptures, correlating to what's going on in society, putting it with the scriptures. And thou shalt understand that is the very same time it will be, the highest will begin to visit the world which he has made. And the Lord is beginning to what? Visit this world, man. Using, with the calamity, using different types of tools and instruments for punishment, man. He's known by the judgment he executes, man. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes, you're seeing a lot of earthquakes all over, various places of the world, and upwards of the people in the world, commotions, disturbances, unrest, upheavals. So you're seeing that. Then shalt thou understand that the Most High spake of those things from the beginning, before thee, even from the beginning. So these things were spoken that it would happen during a certain time period. Number 5. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So the end is beginning to manifest, being made known. Even so the times also the highest have plain beginnings, wonders, powerful works, effects, and signs. So the Lord is using the wonders, the powerful works, the effects and signs as cursors of pretty much before he sends his only begotten son. This warning before the coming of the Yahweh Shem Yashab, man. Let's get 2 Ezra 14. 14 through 17. Let go from thee the mortal thoughts, pretty much the imagination thoughts of the mind. Cast away the burdens of man, and put off now the weak natures, flesh, and plus the ways of the world. Sometimes easier said than done, but put off those mortal thoughts, because Scripture talks about John 3:30 talks about for he must increase and I must decrease, man. So that's putting off what? That flesh, man, that old flesh, that old man, man. So decreasing it and increase. He must increase and I must decrease. So putting off that weak nature related to the ways of the flesh, man, and the burdens that come with that flesh, man. Number 15. Set aside the thoughts that are most heavy into thee. That goes with the burdens, man. In this society, in this flesh, that we have to deal with individually, collectively, we do the best we can, man. And set aside the thoughts that are most heavy into thee, and haste thee to flee from these times, man. The times are what? Now, man. These complex and evil times now, man. For yet greater evils than those that which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So greater evils. These are the precursors. These are not even the beginning, man. So greater evils are going to happen and manifest in the times to come, man. Such as what? WW3. A certain chapter relating to Revelations. Ultimately, that's going to be mandatory for all the inhabitants of the world. Cannibalism, famine, different things that this generation of people, including myself, we haven't experienced, man. At least not in this lifetime. So these are the things to come, man. Read that again. For greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age. And that as the world, that particular world, as it continues on, the age of that world, continues on, it's getting worse, man, because it's coming to an end, man. We come into the end of the age relating to eon, man. Age of time interrupted time period of rulership, man. For Esau's the end of the world and Jacob's the beginning that fall. So we in 2nd Esdras 6, 7 through 9, man. So we come into the end of this rulership, man. And so as it comes closer to the end of the age, which is the rulership, you're going to see the evils increase even more, man. Let's read that again. For look how much the world shall be weaker through age, so much more shall evils increase upon them that dwell therein. So that through that age, the continuing, age period that relating to the end of this rulership, more evil is going to increase, because especially the closer as we get, man. When they say peace and safety and then sudden destruction come upon them, like woman in travail, related to the birth pangs. So the closer it gets to the end, the worse it's going to get, relating to the increase of evils, man. That's what that is, man. Go to 2nd Esdras 6 real quick. And this is 6 and 18. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And that's what's happening. Go the Lord is beginning to what? Visit the earth which he has made. So the Lord's drawing nigh. He's drawing near, man. And I will make an inquisition. Inquisition is inquiry or investigation of them, what they have. Let me see, read it again. And I will begin to make an inquisition, which is an inquiry or investigation of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. That's the wicked in position of power, man. Job 9:24. The earth has been given to the hands of the wicked, man. So they have hurt what? This world unjustly with unrighteousness, man. Unrighteous decrees, go to Isaiah 10:1, and grievous to whom they prescribed, for example, 10:1 and 2. And when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away. And this world is beginning to vanish away. The pomp, which is the splendid display, go to Isaiah. You know what I mean? It's deteriorating. It's becoming decay, man. It's deteriorating internally and externally, man. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away, it shall be finished, then will I shew these tokens, signs, the book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. So the book is being opened, man. Pretty much the scroll's being opened, man. These things are beginning to manifest, man. And the children of a year old shall speak their voices, and the women with a child shall bring forth untimely children prematurely, of 3 months or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. Or number 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. Full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty, whether manufacturally, by naturally, or design, or whatever the case might be. That's precursor shortage, ultimately famines, ultimately leads to greater evils, cannibalism. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. A certain distinct sound, but a terrifying sound. Number 24. And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. So friends are going to be enemies in that day, man. Family members are going to turn against one another. Go to Matthew 10, talking about that. Your own household will be your enemies, man. And at that time shall friends fight one another like enemies. And the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The spring of the fountain shall stand still. In 3 hours they shall not run. That's the physical waters that are going to completely stop. The actual physical drinking waters, but also pretty much the flow and vibration of the waters of society is going to stop too, man. The spirit of mirth, and pretty much and the vibration and what makes society flow like those waters is going to stop, man. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I have told thee shall escape. Those who endure to the end, the same shall be saved, man. And see my salvation in the end of your world. And you're going to see. You'll see at the end of this world, end of the age of this world, man. Related to Esau's the beginning. Esau's the end of the world. Jacob's the beginning that follows. Get it real quick. So you see in the end of the age, man. And what from that. A new one will begin, but the end of this one has to come first, man. Then answered and I said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times, and when shall the end of the first and the beginning of that follow? So pretty much when this one going to end, and when the following is going to follow afterward, man, or supersede afterward. And he said unto me, from Abraham into Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first. Jacob's hand held first of Esau's heel. That's pretty much symbolically to take what Jacob taking Esau down, man. You remember they are two separate entities, different manner of people. They fought in the womb, man, because they're different they're two different manner of people, man. They were enemies in thy womb, man. So they're struggling in thy womb, you know. So they were enemies in thy womb, man. So that symbolically, the scripture talks about the elder shall serve the younger. For Esau I love, for Jacob I love, and Esau I hated. Shalak. So you know that relates to the chosen vessel that would be loved, and the dishonored vessel that would be hated, man. And he said unto me, from Abraham into Isaac and Jacob and Esau were born of him. Jacob's hand held first of the heel of Esau. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, man. So that's what's going to happen, man. This is something short. A few scriptures relating to those reports. Hope it helps in some way. I want to give all praise Yahweh, Bashem Yahshua, Bashem Rakakadash. Because the Lord is beginning to visit the world which he has made. Look at what he's doing in America as far as the weather, man. You have over 35 states experiencing rain, wind, snow, and ice, man. Just spreading across from one part of the coast to the other part of the coast, man. So the Lord is pretty much drawing nigh, man. I want to give all praise Yahweh Shem Yahshua Shem Rakakadash. I hope this helps. Zayah Wolf, Shalom.